Tonight, you're going to fall asleep next to someone. Your breathing will slow, your heart rate will drop, and somewhere in the dark, your brain is going to do something it has done for 200,000 years, something you have never once been aware of. But the real answer is far stranger than comfort or habit. Your brain is running a security check. For most of human history, sleep was not safe. Sleep meant closed eyes, slowed reflexes, total vulnerability. A predator did not care how tired you were. So when early humans slept in groups, they were not just keeping warm. They were dividing up the risk. One person's brain could rest a little deeper because another person's brain was still listening. This is called the sentinel hypothesis. Researchers studying hunter-gatherer sleep patterns, including anthropologist Carol Worthman, found that people in small communal groups rarely all slept at the same depth at the same time. Someone was always slightly more alert, not consciously, not on purpose, just wired that way. You still carry that wiring. Sleep researcher Masako Tamaki at Brown University discovered something strange when she studied people sleeping in unfamiliar places. One half of the brain stayed more active than the other during the first night in a new environment. She called it the first night effect. Half your brain standing guard, even while you dream. Now here's where it gets interesting. That effect fades almost completely when you sleep next to someone your brain already trusts. The vigilant half quiets down. It hands off the job. Your nervous system, without asking your permission, decides that person is now part of your perimeter. Why would your brain trust a person that fast? Because trust biologically is not really a feeling. It is a chemical event. When you lie close to someone you feel safe with, your body releases oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone. Oxytocin does not just make you feel warm towards someone. It actively lowers activity in your amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for detecting threats. Researcher Ruth Feldman, who has spent decades studying oxytocin and human attachment, found that this hormone response is strongest during physical closeness, during rest, not during conversation, not during activity. Stillness next to another body. That is the trigger. Your amygdala quieted, your guard lowered, your sleep deeper. But it is not simple. It is not just deeper sleep across the board. Sleep and social science researcher Wendy Troxel, who has spent years studying couples and their sleep at the University of Pittsburgh, found something almost contradictory. Sleeping next to a partner is linked with falling asleep faster and feeling more emotionally secure. But it is also linked with more physical disturbances through the night, more tossing, more waking, more adjusting to another person's movement. So your brain feels safer, and your body is busier. This is the real trade. Emotional security in exchange for physical compromise. Your ancestors would have taken that deal in a heartbeat. A slightly worse night's sleep was nothing compared to the odds of surviving until morning. Depth of rest mattered less than the presence of an ally. You are not built for isolation. You are built for allocation. Think about what happens when couples fall out of sync, when one partner works nights and the other works days, when someone travels for work and sleeps alone in a hotel room for the first time in years. People often report sleeping worse alone, even in a quieter, more comfortable bed. Not because the mattress changed, because the sentinel system has nothing to hand off to. The vigilant half of the brain has no partner to trust, so it stays half lit, half listening all night. Isolation does not just feel lonely, it costs you REM sleep. Here is the part almost no one talks about. This ancient wiring does not care whether the person next to you is actually safe. It only cares whether your nervous system believes they are, which means the quality of your sleep beside someone is really a nightly referendum on how safe you feel with them, even if you never say so out loud, even if you never consciously think about it. Ever noticed you sleep worse next to someone during a fight? That is not psychological. That is your amygdala refusing to quiet down. Ever noticed you sleep better in the same bed after making up? That is oxytocin, doing exactly what it evolved to do. Your body has an opinion about every relationship you are in. It just delivers that opinion at 3 in the morning, when you are too unconscious to argue with it. There is something almost tender about this. Somewhere in your skull is a mechanism built for survival on the savanna, a mechanism designed to detect lions in tall grass, And tonight it will be quietly deciding whether it is safe to stop watching the door because someone you love is lying 2 feet away. You inherited